finally got one eating some line off of here. Heck yeah, hooked up. There we go, there we go. So what I'm doing right here, guys, is I'm just kind of riding and looking, trying to find a good place to start fishing here. I'm kind of in a river channel right here. It's over toward the bank. There's some trees. We got a few fish in here. Nothing super huge that I'm seeing on the screen. Nothing that is super inviting, so to speak. Water temperatures have plummeted. We're 12 degrees cooler than what it was 10 days ago. And it's still summer. Summer's not over. We're still in the middle of summer. We've still got 90-degree days coming. It's just right now we hit a streak to where it's going to hit 70 degrees today. We've had a lot of rain. We've had a lot of clouds, multiple days in a row. Overnight lows in the lower 60s. Water temperatures plummet during that time frame. And that's what's happened here. I mean, it's down to around 79 degrees. We had temperatures that were 91 degrees a couple of weeks, 2 weeks ago, 10 days ago. So they've come down quickly. Not marking a lot of fish right here. What does that mean? Are the fish up on the bank? Are they near the surface? It's hard to tell. That's kind of part of the code you got to crack. Or are there just not a lot of big catfish where I'm at in particular? That's kind of the thing that's going to vary depending on where you're at, what lake you're at. Like I said, a lot of fish through here. Probably some of these are some smaller catfish that I'm seeing oriented to the bottom. Some of these suspended fish could be some crappie. Could be maybe some perch. Most of the time when perch are inactive though, they're on the bottom. They are not up in the water column. So right now, I'm not seeing anything that's super fishable. I'm gonna make a turn here and pull up on this little island, so to speak, an underwater island that was here before the reservoir was dammed up. And I'm gonna look up there to see if there's anything depth-wise that may be changing where these fish are. Again, fish oriented to the bottom. There's a tree right there that you can see, an old log or pole or something. Come right here, we're coming up out of the river channel, that's the blue, onto this little island, so to speak. If you zoom out, you'll see this used to be an island before this lake was dammed up. You see where the channel splits, it would have been a large island right here in the middle. Probably pretty fertile ground, just because of floods over the years, deposited material in there. You think there would be a lot of mussels and that kind of stuff in that area, but not seeing a lot of fish up in here either. So what do you do in this situation? I mean, this is looking even more barren than what the river channel was. You know, what's the plan in that situation? I'm going to give it a pull all the way across here. Again, we'll zoom in a little bit to see. A few little undulations there, little dips and stuff. I'm not going to go nuts trying to mark one or two fish. I'm looking for a widespread disbursement of fish here. And just not seeing it. Just not seeing a lot of stuff here. It's not very inviting. So what do you do here? Well, if you're in a boat, you make a move. You make a run. I'm going to give it a second just to see if there's anything on this deeper part of the river channel. But if you're bank fishing, you're stuck. You've got to wait for fish to come feed. The good news is you may have fish on the bank right now. Because of the rain, the rising water, some of these fish may have pushed up. Instead of going in and blindly fishing it, I'm doing some riding and doing some looking to kind of figure out what's going on, because I haven't been out here to have a good grip on what exactly is happening. So right now, not seeing a lot of love. My instinct is to make a run and go somewhere else, but I'm gonna try to have a little bit of patience. This will have been a pretty good little, probably a 1 mile loop I would have made through here riding. And people ask about targeting big fish, targeting trophy catfish, targeting tournament fish. This is what you have to do when you're targeting tournament fish. I'm not necessarily doing that today, but I am looking for some bigger catfish to pursue. Not necessarily giants, but just trying to see what's out here. And right now, not seeing a ton. There's one decent fish in the river channel. Not exactly a giant, a decent fish, but it is not loaded up. I'm not the kind of guy that fishes for one fish. Some people do, more power to them. You know, that's not my wheelhouse. That's not my game. That's not how I play. I'm looking for a decent number of fish over a fairly large area. It doesn't have to be super big. I don't want it to be a 100-yard stretch unless I'm willing to anchor. And I'm not seeing anything that fits the bill for any of that right in here. This just looks, for whatever reason, barren of fish right now. Now, because of the rain we've had, could it mean some of them fish are upriver? Maybe some currents going on. I don't know how much water they're pulling. The water of lakes went up. Are they releasing a lot of water or holding a lot, banking on, you know, more warm weather? It's hard to say. But as we come across this, I'll show you real quick. We come off of the little point there and into this deeper water. There's some stuff hanging here. None of these are really big fishable arches, guys. It's just kind of deserted. A few fish. That's a decent fish there. It looks like a thicker sign there on the down scan. You know, that could be a decent fish. There's another one, a couple of more. Now, does that get me excited? I'm looking at the screen, I can tell you that. There's a couple of fish showing up there. Another one coming into range here. Could this be something worth dragging? I don't know, it's tempting just to see more fish hanging on the bottom. I think those are some smaller catfish. Maybe some bigger ones, nothing super giant, but definitely what I would say are some catfish on the bottom. Some are bigger than others, some of them are smaller fish, but I don't know, is it worth dragging on? It's a tough call. If I was fishing a tournament, I'd say no. I just don't know that there is enough in there, but keep in mind, I'm in about 26 feet of water. It means you're looking at a window that is 6.5 feet. That's a 6.5 foot circle you're looking at. It's not a very big footprint you're seeing. There could be fish on either side of this, in and out of that. I may pull through here just to see. I'm kind of running right down the gut of the river channel now. And I mean, I'm marking some fish. It's not crazy. The one good thing I got going here is I'm not seeing a ton of bait. And generally when I don't see a ton of bait, I'm a little more optimistic because I'm not competing with bait to put my bait in front of them. So I may give this a drag for a minute. We got wind coming this way, so I may drop the motor and troll them to the wind. Put a few baits. I'm seeing a few more fish. Maybe we can pick some off. There's no thermocline in place, so we got that going for us. We'll find out very quickly if they're pulling any water. So I talked myself into it. Let's fish it. All right, I got my Catfish Pro rods over here with some basic Santee rigs on them, some black peg floats, and I'm gonna put a mix of stuff out here. I got 2 of them rigged up with some bigger hooks. I'm gonna put some cut bait on that, get those on the outside planer boards, and see what's in here. Now, 2 of these have these new little spinning rattles that I'm wanting to try out. Right there. They got little propeller blades on them. They spin and they sit right in front of here. I found them, painted them black because, well, I like black. And we're gonna see if they'll catch some fish. So here's what these little rattles look like. Basically bullet shaped. Any of y'all that do any muzzleloader hunting, they almost look like the bullet out of a big muzzleloader. Probably I don't know, it's way bigger than a 50 caliber. It's got a hole down the middle of it, and you run your line through it, and it's got some little fins on it that should, at the right speed, cause this thing to tumble and create some vibration. Does it make a difference with catching fish? I don't really know, but I've been wanting to try some out. I painted them black just to match my quartz. I think, I don't know, it seemed like I'd have a little better luck with the black. I don't know that it truly matters in the whole scheme of things, but I just went with black. They're more apt to see something dark than something bright colored in the water naturally. So that's what it looks like though. Pretty interesting. We'll see if they work. The other thing I got here is a piece of bait left from yesterday. Piece of perch we didn't use all of. I'm gonna cut it up, a couple of big pieces. I'm gonna put these out away from the boat on a couple of bigger rigs I got here. So pretty large hook, a pretty decent sized bait. I'm gonna put these out the side furthest out on the planer boards. That way I won't have to check them as often. Another big body chunk. We're gonna put on this outside planer on this side. This has a rattle on it. Just one of the big wide rattling ones, capable of floating a big bait up off the bottom. Get that one out, planed up, ready to go. Another issue I might have is my trolling motor. Normally there's a button on here you hit that will hold it on a certain course, a certain heading. That's not working. So basically means my trolling motor is going in the direction it's pointed in. When you're in the wind like this, trolling into the wind, it will catch your bow, it'll swing it to the side, and when you're on a course or heading, the motor will compensate for that and hold it back on course. It's not doing that. I will have to ride this thing constantly. That will work until my patience wears out, and then we're going to go to drifting with the wind. For now, we're pulling into it. Maybe this will correct itself. We'll see. All right, guys, I may be hooked up. I hope I am, because my level of frustration was peaking. Anyway, got hooked up here. Dealing with this motor, I'm going to have to go with the wind, I think. It's just a big pain to get to where I want to be. Hooked up, Catfish Pro rods. This is the new Dragonfire rod. They glow in the dark. Some of their 600 CTS tournament series reels. This is not a giant fish. It's on chicken, and we're happy to get one. Just made it back into the channel. This has been tough, man. Not having that directional course, and he popped off right there. Not having that directional course heading is a pain in the butt as far as keeping the boat on track, especially into the wind. So probably what's going to happen here is I'm going to go pick up and go into the, or go with the wind, basically run up that way and troll back. It doesn't give me the accuracy to troll this river channel the way I want to. I don't like that. The wind would die a little. It would make managing this course a little bit easier, but right now, man, something is up with this. Oh, and poof, it's back. It's working now. Go figure. Been trying to get a new one of these remotes. They're hard to find. If you know where you can get one of these, it's for an old power drive, let me know. I need a new one. Now it's working. Now life just got better. We got bit, life got better. Let's see if we can catch a fish now. Guys, there could be fish on this. Not, yep, he is there. Man, we are not getting slammed with aggressive bites. I'll talk about that some in a minute. Let's see if I can get this one actually in the boat. I'm gonna nurse him up here. So I was starting to say earlier, 30-pound Andy monofilament Catfish Pro Dragonfire rods. They glow in the dark, no batteries, no lights. Some Catfish Pro. This is a fishing for fun reel here. It's a jacked up power handle that they sell. Small fish, small fish. Let's get him up here. Let's walleye fishing. I used to watch walleye tournaments on TV when the FLW did it. And man, they would nurse those fish in. Let's get this one in so we can get the skunk out. Shoot! Good eater blue right there. If we were looking for dinner, we would have found it. At least enough for one person. Nah, unless you're hungry, then you need a couple. 50-pound leader. Black peg float. This one did not have the spinner. See if we can get one on it. Get them back in the water. Yeah, it's simple little electronic things like that that can spin you out. You know, in today's world with the way we fish, it's a somewhat technical way of fishing, and we kind of take it for granted that all this stuff's going to work, because just little things like that can really mess up how you fish and your strategies for fishing. Can you still catch fish without it? Absolutely. But when you're kind of set to fish a certain way, you need all that stuff to come together and work. What would I do if it wasn't on here? I'd probably go either A, drift with the wind. There you have a little less precision. You can still catch fish. I've caught tens of thousands of fish over the year doing just that. It's not as precision. I would probably go to a bigger area than this narrower area I'm fishing now. The other option is you can always anchor. I mean, you can always anchor and catch fish at any time. So it's not the end of the world. It just kind of spins you out mentally. You got to stay focused on what you're doing, weigh out the options, and then execute. So it's kind of what we did. We're going to keep pulling. There's fish in here. I'm marking them. We're going to see if any of them bite. I got a feeling this may be few and far between on the bites, but it kind of is what it is, and that's part of the fun of fishing. Guys, I fished across a lot of water pulling double hook rig with minnows on it, and I finally hooked up. This is most likely a catfish, but it's a telltale sign, and it is a catfish, of just how bad this bite is when you're not even catching these fish or perch or crappie on minnows. Not sure what's up. Something's up. Something's amiss. Is it the weather? I don't know. Or the fish all the way up on the bank? Could be, but something's going on. We ain't getting bit. Don't know. I'll give you a little update on what I did here. So I did battle up there in the wind for a while, and man, that was just exercise in futility. I found once the motor was running, it was fine, but no fish. Pulled a long way up through there. Made a move, came down here. I'm actually going with the wind now. Wind's calmed a little bit. It kind of comes and goes. I think right now I've got the motor, actually I just turned it off on a very low setting. So moving down through about 0.6. And I've got a scattering of bait, same bait spread. Got some big pieces of cut bait. I've got some chicken, and I've got those minnows. And man, that's the first time a minnow's been hit all day. And that's usually a bad sign. Generally, something will hit those things, whether it be perch, crappie. I did catch a bluegill earlier on one of them, but they're just not getting hit, not even the small catfish. So I'm either A, in the wrong place, these fish are totally locked down and not feeding, or just something ain't right. Since I've been doing a lot of guide trips, just people meat hunting, as I call it, we'll go fishing, especially the short ones, just to catch crappie, white perch, and I do the minnow thing a lot. It's a good barometer of what's going on with the bite, and today's stuff just ain't hinted. It could be a time of day thing. You know, I got out here in the middle of the day. They may have fed early at first light, and things are just slowed, and it may get good toward dark. I don't know, but that's just the mystery of fishing. You got to kind of try to figure it out. So I'm going to drag this little area through here a little bit further, and then I'm going to adjust and make another move and see if I can dial something in that's working. But so far it's been a bust. Finally got one eating some line off of here. Heck yeah, hooked up. There we go, there we go. Switched up the game, folks. I'm anchored up. Came back here and decided to park in about 5 feet of water just to try something different. That main lake bite wasn't working. I've been sitting here probably, I don't know, 25 minutes. I was giving it 45 just to see, and got hit here. I decided to come back here because we've had a lot of rain, and there's a big inflow into the back of this creek here where it's relatively shallow, and I thought maybe there'd be some fish in here. It's not as muddy and as stained as I thought it would be, to be perfectly honest. I expected this water to be a lot more dingy than it is, and it's really not that bad. I can see mud back up where the creek feeds in, but it's not really super bad, relatively speaking, to what it could be. So hopefully we stay buttoned up. I'm pretty sure this was a chicken bait, but I'm not sure. He's going back and forth. He's a heavy fish, I feel like. I'm hoping I can keep him out of the anchor rope. I'm double anchored, so trying to dodge that. Let's see if I can get into this side of the boat. That would be awesome. That would make life a lot easier. Did he get into that one? I think he did. And we're doing the dance here, doing the dance, doing the line dance. There we go. We'll see if we can get him. I had one a minute ago hit one of the cut baits. The line just got popped, but that was about it. This one though hit it with a little more enthusiasm. We'll see what's going to happen here at the boat, especially once he senses the boat. Hear some of the noise. We'll see how it goes. That net good and wet. Always good to wet your net before you net a fish. Helps with their slime coat. Good display on this Catfish Pro rod on what it does. Medium action. Boom. Got him in the net. Got him in the net. Let's get him up here and take a look at him. No, it's a football. Get that out of there. Come here, baby. Get a piece of big chunk of cut bait on one of the rattling shads there. Chuck that right there. A little scale action on him. See what he weighs. It's a fat fish. That is a short, fat fish. Very thick at the back end. My goodness, that's a 19-pound fish. And he's not very long. That's the crazy part. That is not a super long fish. Unreal. Unreal. Good looking fish. Let's get him back alive. There you go. Yeah, guys, I rolled up here in this super skinny water and anchored up just to give it a shot. I had to do something different, man. I covered a lot of water out there and it just wasn't working. And so got a scattering of baits around. Water's a little stained, but I think because of the dynamic that is going on with the new water coming in, them holding water, not releasing it out of the lower dam, I don't think we're getting the massive inflow yet out of the creeks and rivers from the rain. So it's really not that dingy. There's a rise in the water, but not a whole lot of mud and stuff in here yet. So add in the fact some of this rain came after a very dry period. I think the ground soaked up a lot of it, but anyway, decided to try this just to do something different. I've said that before. Sometimes you just got to shift gears, and that's what I did here. I just shifted gears and tried a totally different strategy, and it's not on fire here either. I mean, I got this one good fish. Very thankful to have that one, but thank you, Lord, for that one. But it's not crazy on fire bite today at all. This shallow stuff, generally you pull up in here and within 10 minutes, if you're feeding good, you're getting bit, and that didn't happen. I've sat here for, like I said, it's been 25 minutes to get that one bite. So I don't know what the dynamic is. Sometimes it's just that way. There's still a lot of stuff left to do, though. I'll be honest with you. There's still some fishing that can be done on some main lake points, some fishing right on the bank in some shallow water. There's still a lot of stuff I haven't tried. So it's one of those deals where when it gets like this, you're trying to think of everything that you can possibly do, and bottom line is you only got so much time in a day to do all of it. So but that's the deal. Sometimes it just is not on fire, and this could be one of them things that could turn on in the next hour. It could turn on after dark, and you just don't know. You got to do what you can when you can. And we've caught them on a mixture of bait. Nothing really stands out. That one came on a piece of cut bait. One of them came on a minnow, another one came on a piece of chicken. So it's all over the place. Just a sign that there's nothing really super duper consistent. So it is what it is. Nothing really profound with rattles or not rattles. That one was on one of the rattling, floats. None of the other smaller rattles produce anything. So again, nothing really conclusive. I'll do some more fishing and testing with those things, but for now, it is what it is. Happy to be here. I'm the only one on the lake fishing today because of the rain this morning. So when you get the whole place to yourself, you got to take account and realize you're lucky to be here, lucky to be out here fishing, even if you're not on fire biting.